Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I can see there are 20 participants, and hopefully we'll have more join in as the time goes on. So, with further ado, let me introduce to you our special speaker today. As you all know, we're going to be talking about emotional wellness. I'm sure all of you have heard about emotional IQ, how much it is important in our lives. And today we have Dr. Peter Hudoba, who is a neurosurgeon. I mean, he's a highly acclaimed neurosurgeon of the University of Toronto. He's a researcher, a writer, a teacher of calligraphy and meditation, and he also works with the Shah Research Foundation. He's conducted studies on the beneficial effects of spiritual healing on our physical condition, that is our soul, our mind, our body, and alignment and enlightenment, which is very, very important. And I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Peter because I'm very curious to know as well how we can be not only have alignment in our lives, but also enlightenment. So I'm sure all of you are just waiting to hear what Dr. Peter has to say today. Because imagine, here's a neurosurgeon who's done everything as far as traditional medicine is concerned, and he's delving now into meditation and energy of the body, and this is going to be one interesting session. So with further ado, I hand it over to Dr. Peter Hudoba. Dr. Hudoba, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me today. I'm delighted to be with all of you. I was asked the questions many times, and before we started, they asked me this question again. So how did I get on this? Since a little child, I always wanted to be a doctor. I read many books about doctors, about healing, and my grandma was a healer, and so I had it in my family. But when I was 10 years old, I was coming, it was in the winter, I was coming through the snow to come to the home. And I was first one at home. I set up the stove and put the tea on, and I started to read the book. And the snow was slowly falling down outside. It was so quiet, it was many years ago. And suddenly, as I read the book, this incredible peace came, like a stillness, nothing. The feeling was so overwhelming. It's just, wow. And next day I came home, I wanted to have that feeling again. Sit down, put the tea on, read the book, and I tried to go back to that state. I couldn't. It didn't happen. I wanted it again. That incredible stillness, peace, nothing, like a total quiet. And so I wanted to recreate that feeling. And somehow I was drawn to read books. So then books were coming. I got Bhagavad Gita, I read Bhagavad Gita, I read Bible, I I was just looking in the books, but I couldn't get it. I started to read Patanjali, I studied Lao Tzu. The books just came to me about Buddha, Book of Buddha, but I just couldn't get that feeling. But I persisted. I don't know, something was in me. I didn't have a teacher in my country, not possible. So alongside my studies as a doctor, I went to medicine, I became neurologist, a neurosurgeon. I had this drive in me. I need to have that sweet peace, the calmness. But the life went on, and it has all these challenges. And I, immigrant in America, I got my share of also the situation. I had to do the whole medicine again and study and retrain and eventually become professor, but it never left me. And then one day I decided, this is it. Surgeon, glory and fame stopped to somehow satisfy me. On the peak of when I achieved my total dream, you know, like the boy from small city in Europe comes, become professor in America, big shot. mm, I didn't find that what I was looking for. So I left eventually my job as a professor. Now I have a small practice. Uh, but the last surgery I did really changed my life. You know, I met already my teacher, whom I study now for 20 years. It will be now 21 years we met. And so I already decided after I met him, I am really going to find a peace of mind. This turmoil, this emotion, this is the havoc I am going through as a day by day as a doctor in my profession is not what I want. I want that peace. So my last surgery was very, last aneurysm, I call it brain aneurysm, was very difficult one. And my boss called me. It was his patient, and it was very dangerous place, that technically very difficult to do. So he said, we'll prepare for you, Peter, you come. It took them 6 hours to get it right. And I came to do the final, most dangerous part, to put a clip on the aneurysm. So I came in, they gave me gloves, I put the gown on, and I'm looking on the angio. Oh, this is a toughie. So I come to operate in microscope, I look inside, holy smoke. I need all the help I can get from heaven. Sister give me clip holders, they gave me clip holder, and then I started to chant. Maybe you heard the mantra, it's a Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. I get the clip holder, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, my hands just went like this, done. I was shocked. I mean, it took me 2 minutes. I was absolutely cool. I mean, that was the best I ever done as a doctor, as a surgeon. You know, the stress, the emotional pressure on me, that moment totally vanished. I just, boom, done it. And my colleagues, everybody shocked. I was shocked also, but I played big shot. Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Put the gloves off and I walked out. That was my last aneurysm. So I knew this is a new path for me. And then 20 years I have been studying with the real master, the secrets of the tradition that has been here for thousands of years. And I want to share those principles with you, how we can achieve that peace. Because we live in the rough world. So let me share you a few slides. Yeah. And the life has a pressures. Each of us has a pressures. Nobody is spared. But to be like me, when I was in that state, when I had absolutely no emotions, I was completely clear, and suddenly I could deliver the best to my patient ever. Now that is what I will share with you, how all of us, we can get there. So I'll share you with my slides. So this is my humble presentation, emotional wellness. How we can achieve that? How we can achieve that emotional wellness? What it is actually. So in the tradition of Taoist tradition, everything has a yin and yang, positive and negative. So every part of the universe. There is sun, there is moon, there is a day, there is night, there is prosperity, there is challenges, there is success, less of success. You know, so everything, every coin has a two sides. The Taoists, they describe everything as a part of the 5 elements. So we have the wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. So 5 elements can have a different connotation, but remember, everything that is formed has 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. So they create and support each other. The wood feeds the fire. Fire creates ash, it becomes the soil. In the soil, we can dig the ore, metal, and then all of that is holding the water. Now, they can control each other, of course. So we take the wood, like a root can pierce the earth. The earth controls the water, like the banks or the river control the flow of the water. The water can take down the fire. Fire can melt the metal, and metal can chop the axe can chop the wood. So they control each other. So now we have according to these 5 elements theory, we have also organs, and we can use these we can use these relationships for a healing. So for example, we want to help the fire, so we need to have a strong wood. And in acupuncture, if we want to have a strong heart, we would also make a strong fire, a strong liver. The wood will help the fire. So we heal the heart, but we also heal the liver. So these are the technical relationships, and maybe you need to come to view the slide one more time, 2 more times to appreciate these intricacies. But remember, everything has 5 elements, so we can also divide our emotions according to 5 elements. And this is important to know, that every element we can describe the emotions according to it. So for wood, we have anger. For fire, we have anxiety, depression. For earth, we have worry. For metal, we have a sadness. And for the water, we have fear. So again, wood is anger. Fire is anxiety. Earth is worries. Metal is a sadness. And water is fear. So if we go back in our chart, we see that these 5 elements here, they are balanced. And so our emotions similarly have to be balanced. It is impossible not to be irritated through the day. It is impossible not to be anxious sometimes, a little bit, or to be worried about, now that we have this COVID, what will be tomorrow? We can be sad if we know that somebody whom we love is sick. And we can be fearful that we might get sick. Or who will take care of our family if that would happen? Yeah. So it's natural to have these emotions. But in this slide, we see that they have to be in balance. If one of them is too much, then it will damage the other one. Like in this controlling diagram. If one would be too much, then affects others. So for perfect well-being, perfect balance, all our emotions have to be even. That is the basic level of the traditional Chinese medicine that comes from Taoist tradition. That is the first basic level, that we create our emotional balance between our emotions. Now, there is yet another level, because in the 5 elements, we have not only negative emotions, but we have also positive emotions. So for wood, there is a patience. For fire, there is a joy. For earth, there is a love and compassion. For metal, there is a courage. And for water is a calmness. Again, these have to be balanced. They have to be one like another, evenly developed, evenly presented. And if you look at these two slides, they are like an antidote. Those positive emotions are like antidote against negative. So if somebody is angry, it comes from impatience. Why we are angry? I am angry because I am not patient with your weakness. You made me angry because you did something. It means I don't have a patience with you. It's not what you did, it's what I have a problem with. I am not patient enough. When I'm anxious, it means I am not joyful. If I am worried, I worry. I worry about myself. It's a very, very selfish feeling instead of I care for others. So if I start to care for others, I love them, I want to help them. I no longer worry about myself. Yeah, so, and then sadness is overcome by courage, and fear by calmness. So this way we can start to manage our emotions. So we identify that we have anger, so we will try to develop patience and so forth. Yeah, that's way how we become more well-rounded. And so why we achieve this well-being, wellness of our emotions, that we have them balanced. All these emotions are balanced and freely expressed. Suppressing is not the case. It will not work because then eventually we blast out. But we need to have balanced them, both between themselves, and we balance those negative ones with positive, like a yin and yang have to be equal. None of these elements can be too excessive or too little. So if we are too joyful, it's not good. If we are too angry, that is not good either. Finally, the best is if we completely transform our negative emotions, clear them, and they become positive. Now, why we need to do this? Excessive emotions negatively impact on our health. People who are easily angry, they get high blood pressure. Those who are worried or are fearful, they get they have a stomach ulcer, duodenal ulcers. And emotions really suppress immune system. So then we are more prone to different illnesses like cold, flu. Now there is a COVID. So we need to keep emotions down, yeah, to have our immune system strong. Now, also from the traditional Chinese medicine, from the Taoist principles, they drain the element. So if we are very angry people, it will damage our liver. If we are very fearful, it will damage our kidneys. Sadness will damage lungs. Now, of course, the very important is that our excessive emotions, they are negatively impacting our well-being, how well we are feeling. The person who is angry is not really happy at that moment. The person who is depressed, sad, is not a happy person. Yeah? And through emotions, we can damage many things in our life. Our relationships, our family life, our business, you know. I saw once the anchor in the TV who got angry and started to shout. His career was over. The 20 years of the hard work was lost in 2 minutes. That's not what we want. Positive emotions, on the other side, are reducing stress. Our blood pressure can normalize. Our immune system is stronger. So it is better if we are less emotional because we are healthier. And also, from traditional Chinese medicine, positive emotions will strengthen the element. So rather to be angry, we are peaceful, we are patient with everyone, so our liver will be functioning better. And we feel better. I mean, if you are not angry, then you are happier. Simple. Positive emotions also build very harmonious family life. Business. I mean, the people like to work with people who are likable. Nobody wants to work with someone who keeps blasting in an angry outburst all the time. Who wants to be with that person? No one. So our business, our family, our friends, everything is much better when we have the emotions under control. Now, how we do that? Every element in traditional Chinese medicine has the sound. They found out that the different sounds are actually having a different effect on the energy in the body, on the prana, and also on the organs, on emotions, on the mind. You know, like I gave you the example, I was chanting the mantra. It calmed me down. Then I could do a perfect job for my patient. So, for wood, we have the sound. For fire, we have sound ah. For earth element, we have sound hu. For the metal, we have the sound s. For water, we have sound shui. Shu is for liver. For anger. Ah is for the heart. For anxiety. Who is for the earth, for worries. S is for lungs, for sadness. Shui is for the kidneys, for fear. So we can practice. We can practice, and I will demonstrate to you simply. When we practice, you put the left palm just below belly button, like this, below belly button, and right palm put over your liver. So today we are going to practice for our anger. Who never got angry? Raise the hand. Left palm below belly button, right palm on the liver. Because this way we are distributing energy. And so our right palm is on the liver because that's where the element wood resides, in the liver. Yeah? We do invocation. With mind, we look inside the liver and imagine the golden ball. Then we breathe. We start breathing in, and then we say that sound. Shoo. When we are saying the sound, we imagine that the golden light expands in our liver. Simple. And then next one is the calligraphy power. You know, we can work with the calligraphy, but for today we leave that. So we ask heaven. Many people believe in different things. Doesn't matter what you believe. If you believe in the nature, ask the nature. If you believe in some deity, ask deity. If you believe in universe, ask universe. It doesn't matter what we believe. Everything is perfect. So look into the liver and ask that your anger would be transformed into the patience. My anger, I love you, totally transformed to the patience. That's simple. And just close the eyes and breathe deep in. And then when you breathe out, imagine the light is filling your liver, expanding. Let me say, how, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's it. This is it. It's very simple, actually. And in this way, we can practice each sound for the, just keep your left palm on your lower abdomen, put your right palm on your heart. And practice sound sir. For spleen, put your left palm on the spleen and practice on your worry, sound who. For the lungs, put your hand here, practice sound sir, work on your sadness. And for the kidneys, just put your hands on the back on the kidneys, and practice sound shui. This way we can work on that emotion that is our biggest problem. But eventually, we work all of them. First, we calm them down, heal them, and then we transform them to positive emotions. The same technique. So I thank you very much that you bear with me, my talking, and I would be very happy if there are any questions or whatever comes next now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Peter. That was so interesting. I think we all got lost in actually practicing what you were doing. I was afraid I might make a louder sound than you, so I tried to be silent. So I wanted to ask you the most important question, I'm sure, which is in everybody's mind, and I hope everybody will put on the video because we are going to be very interactive with the doctor, and he is a happy doctor to answer all our questions, especially about emotional wellness. We learned what it is, why it is important for our well-being, and you saw a little bit of the practices that Dr. Peter did. And Doctor, I don't see a lot of questions from people, but I have a very interesting question. I know earlier on Sachin asked you that as well. If you could tell us how we can talk to our body and actually heal ourselves. Is that not what Sachin asked?
Oh, yes. As I explained, body has 5 elements,
Right.
And for every element there is organ, but it really doesn't matter even if you would not even if you would not know this. Um, it's very simple. We just need to express the love. Many of my patients come and they tell, in America, they say the stupid neck is killing them. So they come after car accident, they have a neck pain, and they come and they are telling me the story, which I usually hear. It's sad, actually. Uh, they have a car accident, then they have a neck pain. They go into litigation with insurance. Because of neck pain, they can't work, they lose a job, suddenly income not coming. They don't have money to pay for the physiotherapy, for medication. Life is actually going down the hill. And so 3, 4, 5 years later, I get them. I usually have very difficult patients. And they say, this stupid neck is killing them, their life. And I say, oh, no. Your neck has lots of pain. You have a lot of pain, but your neck has pain too. Those cells suffer. They are shrunk. The flow of blood is reduced. They don't have enough oxygen. They are deeply suffering. You feel emotional pain, but they have a lack of oxygen. They are turning into scar. They suffer the same way as you. Oh, I never look at it that way. Yeah. Give a lot of love to your neck. So I teach them, put your hand on your neck, visualize the light, and give it light. Give it light, give it love. Remember what your mom did, and this is totally amazing because I found my mom did the same thing like Americans' mom do. I don't know how they figure it out. When I was a boy, I fall down, and I fall down many times as a boy, always had some scraped ankles. We were playing soccer and catch and who knows what running. I would come, Mom, it hurts. I scraped my knee. What my mom did. I don't know what India they do, but my mom would kiss my knee and then, it's okay. You know what? It stopped hurt. How do they do it in India? I don't know, but it always worked. So mom gave me love, and that helped my knee. And so I teach the same thing my patients. Just give the love to your neck. Give the love to your heart when you have a heart issue. You need love.
That's very nice. I saw all the mothers nodding their head. If God couldn't be there, that's why they send mothers, right?
That's right.
Right. Okay. I have a very interesting question from Tina Puri. She says, if someone has OCD or suicidal thinking, what practices would help them most?
The same thing, the sadness is lungs. So we work on our lungs. Also, anxiety is part of that picture. Then we work on our heart.
Mm-hmm.
Also, fear is a part of that. We work on our kidneys. And finally, I know that OCD people are worried. The emotions are all there. So they would need to work on their spleen too because they are worried. I have a client who was counting because he was scared something would happen. So it's a fear, worry, blend of it. And OCD patients often get angry. So actually all 5 emotions. And so you just keep doing them one by one. First you do liver, sound chu, then you go to heart, sound ah, go to spleen, sound hu, go to the lungs, sound si, and go to the kidneys, sound si, sound chui. At the moment, if you are the most fearful, then work on the fear. If you are most angry, you work on the anger. But you balance them all every day.
Thank you very much. Maybe, you know what, people are a little shy. Maybe I should go to them individually. Then they might ask the question. Parveen ji, you have a question for Dr. Peter?
So my question, I mean, overall, it was really, I gained a lot of knowledge, and I'm sure some of these techniques I'll be using I'll move forward with my life. I do have some anxiety issues, so perhaps even though you have addressed it, I guess that comes under fire and the sound ah, if I'm correct. Is that so? To take care of anxiety, I should have my left hand on small intestine, right hand on the heart, right? Is that correct?
Correct. Correct. Wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
I think Dr. Peter, they really got it really good. Okay, Purnima ji, we have a question?
Actually, I forget for what we want, we have to do this hand here, and I forget every time. So can you put in the WhatsApp all these things?
Do you need something for memory? Is that what you're looking
Yeah.
for?
No, actually मैं आना ये जिसे उन्होंने बताया कि ची करना सू हाँ तो कब ये करना है I forget every time कि अभी अब जैसे अपने को लिवर के लिए प्रॉब्लम है तो अपने को क्या करना है
जी ये इसका पूर्णिमा जी
हाँ जी IS भी है जैसे में जो प्रॉब्लम रहती है इरिटेबल बोलते हैं उसके लिए क्या कर सकते हैं इरिटेबल बाउल सिंड्रोम IBS है तो पूर्णिमा जी ऐसा है कि हम स्पेसिफिक डिजीजेस का वो नहीं बता रहे नहीं वो अपने साइंस बता रहे ऐसे साइंस बता रहे आ उ ची चाक जो भी बता रहे वो I want to know actually I forget that.
No problem, Purnima ji. It's being recorded, and we will definitely share it with you. If you forget, don't worry. We will take care of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Purnima ji. Thank you.
Okay.
So
Prabhakar ji.
Dr. Peter, I will reframe the question for this woman who was asking. So what she wants to know that she's excited, she's interested, but she's having hard time remembering the sequence. So if I have problems or even if I don't have problem, maybe you can give us a general idea, like based on your teachings, what will be a format one can follow, take back home from this group or from this session? Like maybe some simple practice you give us like 5 minutes every day. You do this or just for general
that will be good.
A prescription, I think. An emotional prescription.
Yes, that will be good. I think so.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I apologize that I didn't explain it clear enough. Please forgive me. So we start in this circle. Like the wood creates fire.
Yeah.
Fire creates earth. Earth creates metal. Metal creates water. Water creates wood.
Yes.
So every day start from wood.
Wood.
Yeah, because wood is like a spring. Yeah, the green stuff comes on the soil. So that's a start of new life. And so start every day with the wood. And so start with the sound, with the liver. Practice sound for your anger.
Sure.
So then next you go for the fire. It means you practice on your heart, practice anxiety, sound. So then we go to the earth and we practice on our spleen and we practice sound who to work on the worries. And then next one, to practice on your lungs, put the hand here. We practice on our sadness and work on your with the sound. And finally, go to the water and practice chway. You work on your fear. So this way you cover all five elements, all 5 emotions. So that's one way to do it. That can be a routine. That takes about 5 minutes. Or if you wish to do it longer, then you can do it longer. In my view, my goodness, this really calmed me down. And so then some people have the problem with one at a moment. Each of us can have a problem with one emotion at some day. We had some unpleasant situation with somebody, we become very angry. And so then we work on our liver right away to calm it down. Or if you are worried, oh, now there is a COVID, the virus everywhere, what will happen tomorrow? You know that at the moment, the worry is the biggest problem. So you address that emotion the most. So that's the two way to practice, and you can do actually two at the same day. You can make a routine to work on all your emotions every day. Wood, fire, earth, metal, water. You just do the whole circle every day in 5 minutes. But then during the day, if you have some emotion that is much more pronounced that day, then address that emotion.
So Adolfo has a very interesting question. He says, which organ does worry affect?
Which organ does
worry?
Worry. Spleen.
Yeah, Tina Ji has already answered. Worry is earth element and spleen is, I guess, stomach.
Yeah.
Okay,
stomach, duodenum. You know, people who are worried, they have ulcers often. Right. Yeah.
So, and Sonal Desai is asking, for all 5 healing sounds, do we keep the hands on our stomach, or what do we do?
When we are doing 5 sounds, left palm always below belly button, and right palm keep traveling. So I am working on my sound on my spleen. Sorry, on my liver. I have a liver. Then I move to the heart. I go to heart. Then I move to the spleen. Then I move to the lungs, and finally I go back and move and work on my kidneys.
Yeah, thank you, Sonal. That was a great question. And then and Geeta says, what about the brain? It controls all the organs.
Brain, we usually work with the kidneys. In Chinese traditional medicine, the cord and brain is joined with the kidneys.
Okay. So what exactly should they do to control?
Brain. Oh, brain, we put the hand on the kidneys and we do a tray. Sound for kidneys, tray.
So, sir, you think meditation along with all this would help?
It's like this. In Taoist understanding, the emotions are not function of the brain. There are like energies.
Right, that's where people are a little puzzled. So what sound do we make for the shoulders tightness?
Shoulder.
Yeah, Pushpa has this question, yes.
The shoulder. Depends what is the problem. It can be tendon, or it can be problem with the joint, like arthritis.
Right, sir.
If it is tendon, then the issue is the element wood, because tendons belong to the wood.
Okay.
If it's a problem, like a frozen shoulder, it's a problem with the tendon. If it is the joint, like arthritis, then it belongs to the element water, because kidneys, joints, bones, that's an element water.
Right, and Induji is asking, how about Om sound to balance the whole body?
No, all 5. Just do all 5 in the circle, and then you will be balancing the whole body. And then those sounds are not only for the emotions. Those sounds balance organs also.
So you mean to say all those 5 sounds ultimately sound like an Om in the whole body? They resonate?
You can do one mantra. If you ask Almighty, please heal my body, and you do Om, you do the whole body.
Right, sir. Divakarji, you have a question?
Is there any point here which is called life point?
I think you're asking for acupressure, but I'll let Dr. Peter answer that.
Okay.
And it means a life point. Life?
The life point means if we oxygenate our body with like this.
I do not understand the question. Can someone help me?
It will help. So what he is asking, Dr. Peter, he is saying, are you aware of something called as a life point, like acupressure point? By pressing or activating the point, you can energize yourself. So he probably read it somewhere.
Yes. Ah, okay.
That's the thing. Correct.
Yes. So that acupuncture point is 2.5 inch below belly button. That's where I asked you to put your left palm.
Okay.
It is called chi high, sea of energy. Chi is energy, high is a sea. So energy sea, chi high. Now that's an acupuncture point, and that's where we put our palm when we do energy practices. So for this one, when you are, you put your left palm on that acupuncture point, and then right palm travels on the organs. But if you want to recharge your energies, then put both palms on that acupuncture point. That's where you recharge yourself.
Thank you, Divakarji, for your question. Trisha, you have a question? Induji also, I think, has a question.
Hi, I don't really have a question. I do want to share something. A lot of people are going through COVID-related anxiety. So what was the sound again for anxiety? Okay, that's good.
And put your heart, put your palm on your heart.
Right.
Oh. And I read about a new research that shows that when people are depressed, the inflammation in their body increases.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone who's suffering from pain, instead of taking too many anti-inflammatory medicines, it may help to work on these sounds that may help with depression.
Very
So
nice.
what sound can help with depression? Oh, the same one.
Anxiety, depression. Let me demonstrate something to you.
Okay.
Put your palm on your middle of the chest and say,
Very good, Trisha.
Do you feel a gentle vibration?
Yes.
Yeah, you do. Your palm behind here on the head. Here. Say Do you feel a vibration in the head?
No, I felt it in my heart.
Not really.
But not here.
Here you don't.
I felt it here on the chest.
But here you feel. Okay, now put the palm here and say E. Do you feel much vibration?
Yes.
Well, okay, maybe you do. I feel very, very tiny, maybe nothing.
Yeah, very little.
Say E. You feel?
Okay. Yes.
Put it here. When I put E or Om, E, Wong, I feel vibration here more than here. If I do R, I feel more vibration here than here. So what happens is that each sound is vibrating different part of the body, different way. So when we really put our palm here on the heart, we are vibrating that. we vibrate the cells and we are loosening the energy flow in that area. So for anxiety and depression, you may put on the heart or you may put on the heart chakra. And every time I speak to my patient, and I mean, the woman knows it. Oh, it is so hard touching. Have you seen women do that? It's so hard. He's such a lovely person. They always do that. Oh, it's so lovely. Why? Because you feel love here, yeah? You feel a very pleasant feeling here. When people are depressed, what they tell me? I feel so sad.
So when you have patients, are they willing to practice it?
Yeah. And when people suddenly have a relief, oh, I feel like a stone fell off my heart. Then literally you feel something comes out of there. So those are, people describe that because it's really like that. Those energies get stuck in this area and we feel sadness. When people are have anxiety, what they feel? Very unpleasant vibrations in the chest. They all describe it to me. The anxiety people feel vibration here, depressed people feel tight here. Those people who have a relief, they feel, oh, it feels so good. And we feel love here. So really, these feelings, those emotions, they have energetic impact inside our body. And when we are healing with these sounds, we are actually releasing those blockages. It's fascinating. But I think that I am overdoing my time. Please forgive me. When I get into it, I don't know when to stop. Time is up.
Thank you.
Peter, there is one question from Adolfo, and Adolfo's question is, when you go into the circle, how often should I repeat the sound? Like how many cycles should you do for the optimal benefit?
I would say at beginning, do just one circle until you get used to it. It's like with every medicine. Not enough is not good, but too much is not good either. So you need to find eventually your optimal. One circle done well is better than 100 circles just rushed. So
right, sir.
Do it right way, one time, then can do eventually each step to do 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, do one time. Okay?
I'm Dr. Peter's student and I have the book with me. Would it be okay to just let people know? Because I know everybody had the questions and it's all here in this book. And Reena, I would be happy to send a link to you so people can get it from Amazon. And so this also gives you a table of all the elements, which organs are impacted, etc.
Right.
Dr. Peter was talking about in the book. And the other wonderful thing is that the book comes with a QR code. So it comes with these little animations. So for each element, there is a video and you play and it shows you all the visualization that Dr. Peter was talking about and also the sounds. And you can just practice with these videos. You can just download.
This is so cool.
Just download, the book comes with QR code. So you can download it on your phone and you can play. Each element has 3 steps to it. And there's a lot more. It also talks about the chakra cleansing. So this is an amazing book and I have been Dr. Peter's student. So I have improved my health beyond imagination. I've suffered from fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue for over 25 years. And these simple practices have helped me. So I just wanted to share if anybody else can benefit for this, that would be, I would be so happy for them. So thank you for allowing me to share.
Yeah, thank you, Tina ji. I'm sure Purnima ji was very interested and she was forgetting about it. She should definitely look into the book, Purnima ji. So thank you, everyone.